So hi, Cassia. I'm pronouncing your name right, Cassia?
Yes, it's Kasia, yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so can you introduce yourself? Just tell me a bit about yourself, what you do, and how you started your company.
Mhm. So, hey, my name is Kasia. I am originally from a tiny farm in northeast part of Poland. And when I was 16, I got a scholarship to actually go to the high school in one of the best high schools in Warsaw, focus on programming. And this was really a great opportunity for me back then. It helped me jumpstart my whole career, and it really set my life on a different path. And then from that moment, it all became easier. I also got accepted to the Technical University of Warsaw, where I could study mechanical engineering. And to finance myself during those studies, I built my own tutoring and career coaching company. So, entrepreneurship and solving problems with tech were always part of my life, and I really like doing that. And I always wanted to continue doing this in some levels. But to do that, I also wanted to learn from others how are big corporates doing it, how are other startups are doing it. So I started my career in corporate. But as you can imagine, being a woman, a young woman, trying to get some role in a technical field, it was challenging. There are still quite a lot of limitations, and therefore I transitioned quite fast from a corporate field in mechanical engineering more into the software engineering and more leadership roles in startups
Okay.
to learn basically how to run a tech company from a more practical experience, right? I could take an MBA. I decided to join a startup instead and just learn it all by doing. But again, software engineering is also something where you still have quite a huge gender gap. So I realized there is many opportunities how we can support women and how we can contribute to make the space more
Yeah.
diverse. And then more than a year ago, I met Eleni, the founder of Kimolian Academy, and from that moment, all became clear. She was very much aligned on my vision to empower more women, to help them enter the tech area, to help them build more tech solutions to solve real-world problems. And now we are working together. We are building Kimolian Academy and also Kimolian Innovations, the second arm of the company
Okay.
here in Vienna. And this is how it all started. So basically, motivation to empower women.
All right. Thank you very much. And speaking of what you said, there's a huge gap between male and females in the tech industry in software development, and we need more women doing what we do. We need more women in this space, and we can't just tell them, "Oh, come to this space." We need to actually be able to teach them so they come in and they're actually really good at what they do. So thank you very much for this idea. Thank you for what you're doing with it. And I'm really excited to see how far more is going to grow. So, can you just tell me a bit, like, what motivated you to teach product management exactly?
So it all comes from my engineering background. Actually, I became an engineer to really learn how to build solution for real world problems. And then at some point, I discovered what actually means to be product manager. That it's actually all about product. And this is the main core. How do you approach problem solving? It's not only about the engineering and tech part, but also understanding people, understanding sociology, and understanding business to combine everything, right? To not only drive the product outcomes, but also bring the value to the business and bring the value to society.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I transitioned at some point to product management. I was actually doing it my whole life without even realizing I was doing it. And then it became more natural to actually call it properly and work more towards this direction. And why specifically product management? It has many applications in various industries. And also the skills that we are teaching in our course are applicable not only for product managers, but also for any other business areas,
Okay.
right? So that's something that you can, that's a foundation that you can use to actually work in other fields as well.
Okay. Okay. What are some of the biggest challenges you faced since you launched your company?
So our biggest challenges are actually connected to us both being engineers actually. So we are both technical and doing marketing, managing our social media,
Okay.
doing sales are like black magic to us. We have to learn it from the beginning. We have amazing supporters. We have a lot of volunteers, graduates of our academy who are supporting us with our social media, supporting us with our marketing strategies. So we got a lot of support back. And also for us, it's very important to find partners which are
Mm-hmm.
aligned with our values and mission. So also looking for those partners takes
Can be very
additional efforts and time.
okay. But everything, I mean, so far, is been going great, and those challenges are starting to look like a walk in the park. I mean, gradually, this would look like overcoming that. Yeah. Okay. So, is your target market, and how do you tailor your courses to suit your target markets?
So our target market are underrepresented women from a few different regions. So Europe, because we are both based in Europe, and also Nigeria. It's just Nigerian people are amazing to work with, super motivated, super talented, and very friendly. So we love working with people from Nigeria. That's why we are actually that's the only country in Africa where we are working with, and also MENA. So we have few people in Saudi Arabia and other regions. And how we are tailoring the course for them. So first thing, the academy is only for women, and this really brings additional aspects like creating a safe space when everyone is able to talk, everyone is not shy to talk. So even if they struggle with language, because we have a lot of people from different
Yeah.
that English it's not their first language, right? So they struggle with language, they struggle with presentation skills, but the way that we run the course and we create this safe space for everyone to just try it out, test it out, and like bring the best out of themselves. So I would say that's the core value.
Okay. But with over time, you're going to expand to other markets, right?
At the moment, we are really running it more than 100%. Probably yes. We are already talking about expanding to Central Asia,
Oh,
like Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan. There is also a lot of potential, and the gender gap is even bigger there. Surprise, surprise.
um,
So there is a lot of regions in the world which needs our support. So of course we will be trying to gradually support other regions, but it's we want to scale sustainably to not also
okay.
overdo something, kill ourselves on the process.
Okay. Okay. No issues. Thank you. So, how do you stay updated with latest trends in product management, and how does that influence your curriculum? So, I'm guessing your curriculum changes over time as the trend in product management also changes.
Yes, exactly. So we are changing constantly. We are iterating, we are collecting feedback. So our curriculum is built for women, by women. We are collecting feedback. We are trying always to improve and bring more tailored case studies, more tailored content for the audience. But the common trends are coming, of course, from United States. So we do partner and we follow many product companies from there.
Okay.
We also work with them. Like at Inspire Africa, it was Silicon Valley Product Group that we got the invitation from, and we also joined the master classes by them. So we always try to learn from the best of the best in the industry, and then implement those best practices and best tools to support women trying to transition into this career path.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So, what core skills and knowledge areas do you believe every product manager needs?
So product management, I believe it's one of the most underrated and the most difficult jobs out there, right? You need to manage various skills. You need to be able to talk many languages. You need to be able to communicate with engineers. You need to communicate with business. You need to be able to understand and listen to your customers.
Mhm.
So I would say communication is very important. Active listening, very important. Also storytelling. You need to be able to inspire people and empower them to do something. And yeah, and also tools, right? You constantly iterate and learn new tools. So I'm in the industry for some time, and I did learn how to, let's say, do product with different tools. Now with AI, you'll relearn everything. Everything is changing. We are using a lot of AI now with on the different stages of the product development, and I believe it's gonna go into this direction even more, right? So in the future, some tasks, some jobs will be automated,
Okay.
replaced, but human working with AI, super crucial. You always have to validate, you always have to double check some outputs, data, because we cannot fully trust technology.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Can you walk me through like the structure of your teaching? How do you make sure that your students have both theoretical and practical skills in everything that you're teaching your students?
Very great question. Thank you for asking that. We love to answer this question. So unlike other courses, we are not only theoretical, we are not only providing slide and the content and then maybe a small Q&A. We do that, but that's a smaller part of our course.
Okay.
The bigger part of our course is actually working on a real case study. So each cohort is always working on a different case study where they are choosing themselves. So we propose to them few options. They are choosing this problem that they want to solve. And then in the course of 12 weeks, on the side of getting the theoretical knowledge, they are also completing assignments, right? So it's 12 assignments, which are always parts of the product development journey to bring your product from this small like problem space that you are solving for to a ready prototype.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Because, sometimes people just teach the theoretical part. This is what you're supposed to do, but there's no actual, this is how you're supposed to do it in a real life scenario that's been played out for them. But thank you very much for clarifying that. So thank God that what you are doing is not just on paper, but actually having hands-on experience on what they are doing, which you give your students, when they want to apply for actual jobs, a better chance of getting the job because they already kind of have a hands-on experience on what the whole role entails. So yeah, thank you. So how do you balance teaching hard skills, say like data analysis, with soft skills in product management for your students, like communication, stakeholder management? How do you balance both of them in when you're teaching?
Another great question. So the hard skills, we have two types of sessions per week. One session is focused on the like normal curriculum, like the standard knowledge course. And the second one is always for tools. So we teach different tools focused on like different stages of the product development. And those are always, not always, but very often taught by our graduates, right? So our graduates are
Okay.
coming back. They
Oh,
want to give back to the community and they are teaching different tools. So very often, sometimes that we don't even, me and Eleni, we never heard of this tool yet because it's such a new thing. And our graduates are coming back and telling, oh, look, I found this amazing thing. It can help you prototype in seconds. And they are leading the session on prototyping, showing different tools and this one that they found.
okay.
That's the hard skill part.
Mm-hmm.
And the soft skills part, we have teams and people are always working in teams. So it's always from 15 to 25 women working in 3 to 5 different teams, five, 4 people per team, which allows you also to build the collaborative skills, to learn how to use virtual collaborating tools like Miro, to also learn how to communicate, how to work with different cultures, right?
Okay.
So we are mixing teams a lot. All these regions that I mentioned, we put them in one team. We try to mix them also like across different industries and different age groups to have the most diverse teams we can get. So people also get experience with like managing different stakeholders, talking to different type of people, and that's like all together is equipping them with everything what they need to become great product managers.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. So, what's unique in your approach to teaching product management compared to like other boot camps that you've seen around?
So I guess the uniqueness of our program is that we really take anyone who is showing right interest, that they really want to become a product manager, mostly coming from the problem solving, right? So they have a good understanding of problems and they really want to help people solve some problems. And then doesn't matter the industry or the year background that they are coming from, we can teach them from very early stage, right? We can teach them from the beginning. If they have the right mindset, really like helping people and trying to solve something with tech, that's all that we need to help them become great product managers.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's very clear. So, how has the role in product as a product manager evolved in recent times, especially when it comes to like the rise of AI and data science and data driven analysis? How has that, evolved over the time in what you've seen in the latest trend and what's going on in the industry?
Yeah, so it evolved a lot, right? We all remember this low fidelity wireframing prototyping tools like Balsamico, which now it's used still, but not that much because you have all the tools AI empowered, where you can actually describe with a prompt what you want to build.
Okay.
So I really believe that because of AI, we will go from less like drawing on the paper and drawing from scratch to take ready generated idea by AI and then change them, right? So instead of starting from the beginning, you will have few options generated by AI how to start, and then you adjust them, you choose the one which is fitting you the most, and then you work from that. So I guess the process became faster and really helps you bring the most important components.
Okay, so then that means there's more reading, more learning to do. So, with that now,
Exactly.
that means professionals that are already in the field can also come and take your course, right? If they also want to learn these new trends, since your course is also evolving. Okay,
Yes, yes,
okay.
yes.
So for tech professionals looking to pivot into product management, what skills or experience do you think is most valuable that they can, like transferable skills that they can say they want to use to come into product management? What kind of skills do you think are transferable for them?
So it really depends from the industry they are coming from. If they are like tech engineering, I would assume that they were working less on the customer side.
Mhm.
So improving communication, very often improving storytelling. It's really useful to empower either your team or empower customers or inspire others to with your vision. So storytelling skills, communication skills are super important. From the other side, if you already worked in the field of public speaking,
Okay.
theater, anything where we talk a lot and communicate a lot,
Mhm.
then the other side is lacking, right? You need to understand the technology, you need to kind of learn the basics of software development.
Mhm.
I mean by that, understanding the concepts, right? We are not requiring anyone to learn programming, which
Yeah.
is good. It's quite actually helpful to learn programming, but just understanding basic concepts like what means back and front end API database to really understand how you can communicate better with developers simply.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So, what jobs or roles have your students gone on to after completing your program?
Most of them, of course, became product managers because our course is tailored for product managers. So a lot of people after the course, it's going this career path. Quite a significant percentage became founders. So we have two types of people who are applying. One type is people who want to become a product managers,
Okay.
and second type is actually female founders. They join the course to learn how to build their product. And then we have a smaller percentage of people becoming product designers, business analysts. Also, we had some people going into the community management, accounting. As I said, the skills and the learnings that we are teaching can be applied in any other field.
Good. Yeah.
So there is small percentage always going to a different type of roles, but most of them are product managers or actually founders.
Okay. So, are there any success stories from your students that stood out to you the most that have taken your course? Is there any story that stood out to you the most from all your students that just made you know that you are doing the right thing and you felt encouraged by it?
Great question, amazing question. Actually, our most inspiring story is very recent story. So through Inspire Africa conference, we also got connected with a few women who then went to the course. One of them was Grace, and she is a nurse and also a midwife. So she does not really has the background in business or tech,
Okay.
but she was amazing at doing product. She learned so fast. She adapted to all these different things that you need to adapt. She got these skills, she got the knowledge. And now, and of course, why she applied? Because she has some really like a problem that she wants to solve for. I won't be talking about it because it's still very like early stage. I don't want to spoiler anything for her. And she actually got to the startup incubation program for health tech
Oh,
founders.
wow. That's really great. That's really great. I guess it'll be more common as you continue to grow because there are people that really want this opportunity and it's really going to change their lives, to be honest. So thank you so much for what you do. I'm really excited. Okay, so how do you measure the success of your students and the effectiveness of your training program?
So we always collect feedback not only by the end of the course, but during the course, right? We always ask people to provide us feedback, to our self-paced curriculum, where they can read on their own and watch some videos. We ask them to feedback to the sessions,
Mhm.
specific directions, feedback regarding mentors, team members. So it's like constantly collecting feedback and trying to iterate and
Okay,
improve.
okay, okay. So, what are some of the most common misconceptions that people have about product management as a career? What some that you think people have?
Oh, it's still very often confused with project
Oh,
management, which
yes.
is not the same thing. That's one. Second thing, there is a trend of people from academia and research also sometimes transitioning to the product management field because there are some misconceptions that, knowing how to do the market research, it's a very valuable skill for a product manager. Yes, it is, but also understanding the psychology and sociology to be able to talk with people and understand people, super important. I would say even more important than the market research. So then these people might lack this, and some of them, of course, they go through the training and they learn how to do it, but some of them just focus on stats and try to, analyze humans with numbers, which is not working.
But I think the one that gets me the most is always saying, "Oh, project management, product management. There's no difference. There's a difference." I want more people to understand that too. Yeah. So, could you speak on some of the most challenging the challenges that new product managers face when they come into the space and how they can tackle those challenges?
Yes, so I think now there is a lot of challenges associated with technology, especially with AI. Now everyone wants to build something with AI and
Yeah.
power their product with AI. And AI, wow, it's now like a, unleashed dog. We don't know what it's actually consuming, which data, what it will spit out. There is no regulations, there is no standards to actually manage it. There is a lot of bias already
Mhm.
happening, right? At least here in Europe, we saw a lot of AI applications where it was trained on basic, like available data for general public, and then it gives you answers that, for example, a classical CEO of the company should be white male,
Yeah. Yeah.
and some other biases connected to finances, because most of the financial data regarding loans and equity investing and stuff like that are based on the data where some certain groups were more active, and then it connects it with like being better. So some groups are then marginalized and not and discriminated. So there is a lot going on in the wrong direction, and we really need to be careful to make sure we have the right data. We retrain, reconfigure AI to make it unbiased and not discriminate anyone.
Okay. Okay. Hopefully, things will start to get better. Um, we will see. To be honest, we will see because the gap is always going to be there. Okay, so for people that are
Yeah.
looking to start product management, what advice would you give them that's starting from scratch, a new career, maybe they're just coming out of university, coming out of school, they want to go into product management. What advice would you give?
Yeah, I would say actually joining a course like ours or any other course, there's many of them. That's a first good step to have some accountability to drive you through different stages of the product development.
Okay.
Also, there is many books like Inspired from Marty Kagan and many articles out there. We are living in the perfect era to self-educate yourself, podcast articles, anything. You choose what you like to learn from, like videos, everything is there. What's more difficult part is the practical knowledge. Not many courses is
Yeah.
actually offering that, and if your course is not offering that, I would recommend to volunteer maybe with a startup, volunteer with an NGO, try to build a product for them, or join a hackathon. Hackathons, at least here in Europe, they are great opportunity to actually in few days, like 3 or 2 days that they are focused on, work on certain problem, work on getting the data that you are getting from the organization, organizing it to implement your solution, and then you can go through all different stages, and at the end you always have to present, right? So in very fast you can get some practical skills on building the product actually.
Okay.
That's a great way to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So the last question I'm going to ask you is something just similar, but instead of people starting from scratch, and people that are transitioning, that they're looking to transition through. I think this is one question I get a lot. So I'm currently in digital marketing. I was transitioning to product management. I feel like for me, my first question is always why. Why product management? Why not? Is it because everybody's talking about it? But I want to hear your view. Like, what advice would you give somebody that wants to transition from where they are, their own field, into product management?
That's a great question. That's one of the questions we ask in the form that we are collecting the applications through, and then we ask this question, like a follow-up question to this one, in the interview that we are having with people applying. Why? Because we want to understand why they want to join, why they want to become product managers. The why is super important, their motivation behind that. Because, as I said, from any field that you are in, you can always transition to something else.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always important to understand why you want to do that and which skills you think you have to actually become a product manager. And then with those people, we are always trying to match. Not much, starting actually with an auditing which skills they have, with knowledge, which knowledge they have, where are the gaps, and how can we help them through mentoring and personal coaching go from where they are right now and to kind of bridge those gaps where they have to be to become a product managers.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Because for me, my first question is always to ask why they're doing it. Because I feel like now most people want to do it because they're hearing about it. Oh, it's a nice place to come into, and then when they come into it, they see it's a crazy world out there for us. So, yeah, just making sure people are doing the right thing. So, just a final, random question. I like to ask my guests, to just share some form of wisdom of, what you learned this week that just went by. If you just like to share, maybe something you learned, a word of advice you want to give anybody out there about, something that you learned randomly this week.
Okay. So with what I learned randomly, it's also connected to becoming founders because I'm also the director of the Founder Institute Vienna.
Okay.
So entrepreneurship, it's another field that I'm working very closely with. And what learning from today would be to, if you want to become a founder, you really need to focus on building your personal brand. I know everyone is saying that, and it's really super important because if you don't communicate well enough what is your solution and how you are solving the specific problem, your solution can be the best product ever, but no one will know about it, right? So building personal brand and also product branding is super, super important.
Okay, thank you very much. Those are the questions I have for you. And thank you so much for doing this with me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for being a guest on the podcast. I appreciate it. And I hope when I'm able to upload this, people are going to, women are going to sign up and actually take this seriously because I'm really rooting for women out there to come into this space and do great things because it's really hard one finding role models in this field for women. Um, you know, even with what I'm currently doing, it's kind of hard to keep up as I'm learning, I'm teaching, learning and teaching. So we need more women in this space. We need more women coming to learn, more women growing, and more women teaching, so that we can also be able to come into our full potential and do the best that we can in this career space. So thank you so much for doing this, and I really appreciate it. Thank you for your
So thank
experience.
you so much, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.